Leslie from the Wine Concierge and Vino 301. And so recently I have been posting about this major trip that we are planning and we are taking. And so let me just say, like, this is something I have wanted to do for years. People have said to me, "Oh, where would you like to travel?" And I have said, I want to go to South Africa. And quite honestly, I hadn't I hadn't been like aggressively planning something. About a year ago, I was working with a wonderful individual, and we were going to plan a trip to South Africa during their jazz festival. And unfortunately, she passed away. And so I just said, "Oh well, you know, we're not going to do that." And then this wonderful angel from out of nowhere reached out to me and he said, "I would love to work with you." And that's all he said. Like, I didn't know. And
Yeah.
and sometimes I do get those emails and you don't know, especially when it comes over social media, like, is this a bot or a real person or not, right? You have to do that. Is this a real person? And thank God they are real people. And so I am so excited to introduce Chris and Jim, who are the masterminds and are planning our trip to South Africa. So say hello, guys.
Hello, hello,
Hello,
hello. Good to
greetings to
meet you all
you,
from sunny South Africa here in Johannesburg at the
Johannesburg.
moment.
Perfect.
Yes, 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 yes. So please tell me about yourselves and share with everyone um, who you guys are and what you do.
Well, I'm Chris, and this is,
Jim.
and we are basically partners in crime, as you would like they say it, in
Partners in
everything.
love.
So we've been together for 18 years, and we've been in business together for most of that time, and we're still happy. So
Mhm.
I know how it is when people are working together. It kind of strains the relationship, but for us, it's only grown.
Mhm.
We have been in South Africa now for a year, and we relocated from California, Central California area, from which we were the managers and directors of a wellness retreat center for 9 years, a 9 room guest house that sleeps 35 to 50 people. And we sold everything to come out to South Africa. The story doesn't really begin there because wine is what brought us out here. And that wine journey started when we first met in Honolulu, Hawaii. Jim,
Okay,
what
so
can you?
wine in Hawaii. That you don't think of wine in Hawaii. That's too
I
funny.
and Jim, why don't you tell them about the first wines that we had in Hawaii?
We've had, come to think of it now, Glencalu, and we had Warwick,
Mm-hmm.
and
Merlust.
Merlust, and we thought, oh, this is lovely. We love the taste of them, and we signed up for long, long ways of getting more like a wine subscription, and we came to know of Carmen and a few others who are black winemakers, and that really enticed us
That
to
really set
understand
us.
more.
That really set us out. I
Yeah,
mean,
didn't it?
Jim's been to over 60 countries. I've been to over 40. And so we've drank wine pretty much everywhere where they have wine because they
Hmm.
don't have wine everywhere in all the countries. But one of them was Portugal and
Morocco,
Morocco.
Lebanon. Mm.
And in South Africa, we were drinking wines, but we didn't know about the winemakers. We only knew about the wine. And so when we did get on this wine club in California, we introduce the winemaker with the wine, and that's how we put two and two together about South African wine.
So you weren't big South African wine fans, but you had tried it, and that is what led to your love and discovery of South African wine.
Yes. So, I mean, you know, we've been to popular wine regions, especially in California where we lived, you know, but Portugal, France, Spain, we love Garnacha wine. And but the wine in South Africa, the terroir, the the passion in the winemaking, it something was just different. It was so different that when we decided what was going to be our next act, what we were going to do next after the retreat center, we said, well, it should center around wine because we have a passion for wine. It should center around Africa because we want to go back and be on the continent, the cradle of humankind here, and we want to be able to offer the same type of things that we were doing in California, bringing people together in groups to experience something unique and something that they all love together. And so with those three components, it just meant that we started Obsidian, and we were going to share our passion for wine, share our passion for the African continent, and then share our love of being together with people.
We love Africa and we love fun.
Well, I think that is so awesome. And so when you reached out to me, you said that you organized these tours to South Africa, and specifically, which I found most intriguing and that I had a desire to, is really to highlight the Black South African winemakers there, and to be able to experience the terroir, to experience harvest, and everything about the country and the continent. And that was because there's some tours where you're just like going to like place to place, and that's not bad or what have you. But with this tour, we're able to have winemaker dinners. So the winemakers are going to be there. They're not just going to like have their representative. And I thought that was so cool because even when you're going to vineyards in America and the United States, the winemaker isn't always there. Usually they're not. They're not in the tasting room, and you're not able to have those conversations with them.
Yes, and with that in mind, I wanted to introduce you all, if you haven't already known, this is a Carmen Stevens wine. It's a Merlot. It's an award-winning wine. And this is one of the reasons why, this is my little trick. I don't know if you guys, this is my, that's my trick. And this is one of the wines that one of the first wines for which we were able to drink and also have a little historical background of the winemaker. Mm-hmm. And it was a woman, and a woman of color. And that's what really got us really excited about being able to have a winemaker dinner and to have a dinner with the somms as well. Because a lot of times you don't get introduced to a sommelier unless you go to a fine dining restaurant. But here, we wanted to introduce people to sommeliers as well as the winemaker and also the chef. So when we do our winemaker dinners, we have a private chef that comes along, the private chef's there, and the winemaker's there, and then a somm's there to go over the wine with you, the tasting notes, the terroir, where the grape came from, the history of the grape. Mm. And this Merlot, it's 5 o'clock here, y'all, so we can. Well,
so it's always noon somewhere. Cheers. Cheers. So
cheers.
The trip that you organize is just, I've just gotten so much feedback on it. And so it's 11 days, 10 nights, and it includes, and we can, and I want you to show the video, the winemaker dinners, the sunset cruise,
Yeah.
the bride, which, this is just so uniquely South Africa. The lunches, the walking tours, um, our accommodations, our hotel is included, our transfers to place. And one thing I really like how you organize this is we are in a central location, and then we just meet at that location and go out to the different places. So
Yeah.
once you're there, you're in your hotel, and you don't have to worry about packing up, 3 days here, 4 days there, you're all in that one place.
Yes, yes. And we have some surprises too. So it's going to be really exciting. What's really nice about being here is we are, when new events come up that weren't on the itinerary at first, but something comes through and we're able to connect with the wine estate or something like that and say, you know what, our group's here, can you fit us in?
Mhm.
And so we're always looking for something exciting to also spice up the time that we are with each other. Some of them could be events, musical events that come up and happen. A famous artist is in town, and we can connect with that artist on the fly, something like that too. So kind of look for those kind of exciting things that can happen.
That is absolutely amazing. Do you want to, and I know we have a few people that are watching now, and welcome, welcome, welcome. If you have questions, please put them in the chat. We are happy to answer those. And uh, Jim and Chris, can you share
The
the
video?
video with us? Yes.
Yes. Let me do
I
that
would ask
now.
you to share the wine.
You could smell it.
All right, here we go.
Okay, so I'm adding the video. Please, guys, let me know who's watching if you can see the video.
These are some of the winemakers, farm workers, the songs I was speaking about. Chefs as well.
Thank you,
How was
guys.
that? How was that?
That was, well, it was kind of, the music was kind of breaking up a little, but definitely the pictures have us all jazzed to about what we're going to encounter. Can you bring that back up again? I know we have a webpage dedicated
Yeah, I'll do
to
that.
the trip, especially for the Wine Concierge people. And I just want to show what the initial itinerary is.
So this is our beginning.
And scroll down. And this is going to take place January 31st through February 10th. And can you scroll
And
down?
we only have it's a small group, so 12 guests. So each trip is limited to 12 to keep the intimacy going. We have 3 packages during the harvest season in Cape Town. And the wine concierge, Leslie, has chosen the very first package. There are 2 other packages available for other groups that may want to jump on. They can't jump on here with Leslie. There is the video, and this is the beginning of the itinerary. We start on a Friday, so you have 2 full weekends on this trip. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then at the end, there's also a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that last weekend is given and dedicated to help you choose the excursions that you want to participate in that aren't necessarily wine related, but you've taken the time to make your way to to Cape Town, you've made your way to South Africa, and you have some things that you want to see that aren't on the itinerary. Some people want to see Robben Island. People want to devote a little bit more time to shopping or being out more in nature, things like that, safaris. So we have those opportunities for that last weekend for you to do that. And when you go to the page, you'll see down the weekend optional excursions, and these are some of the pricings and some of the things that you can do on your own. We help facilitate that, so you're not on your own on that weekend. We make sure you can get from place to place and put together maybe even a couple of days for you and make sure that you can get what you want out of that last weekend.
That is truly awesome. I like the fact that even though this is a wine focus, it's not all wine. And you do have an opportunity to do some unscheduled items on your own, because sometimes I get so excited. I have to tell on myself. I get so excited when I go out of town and I'm like, I want to do this and this and this and this and this. And then I come back and I'm so exhausted because I've overscheduled myself. And
Yeah,
with this trip, those last 3 days, they're your downtime, and you can pick your own adventure, which is great that this is a small group. But sometimes you don't want to do everything with the group. You want to do your own thing, and you guys can help facilitate that. And I love that fact that that is a possibility.
yeah, definitely. We found that ourselves since we've traveled so much. We've seen how important it is to have that downtime. And for some people, you just don't want to do anything that day. You want to enjoy maybe your accommodations and some of the things that they have to offer while you're there, and then sneak out, late
Mhm.
after something, like that. So, yeah.
Yes. So I've gotten some questions from people who have seen the trip, and I just want to clarify a few things. So this is a Black winemakers tour. You don't have to be Black to go on the tour. Um, we welcome everyone to go on the tour, and if there's other places that you've heard of in South Africa and vineyards you want to go to, that you're welcome to go to those on those unscheduled days. So this is an all inclusive in so many ways tour that you can go on it. Also, you don't have to be in the wine industry. You, as long as you can hold a wine glass, and I don't care how you hold it, you are welcome on this tour. Or if you just love to travel, um, you are definitely welcome to be on this tour. So this is not exclusively for the wine industry people. This is someone who just wants to travel. Also, the pricing, it is 4,500, and it is a deposit of 500. And Chris and Jim have put together like the most reasonable payment plan between now and January, where you can pay for your trip. So and I'll put the link, or Chris, if you're able to, can you put the link in the chat, or I will find the link and put it in the chat so people.
Sure.
Oh, I have it. I have it here.
And
Can
then
put it in the chat.
my screen
Oh,
is
I
still
have it.
shared too.
Oh,
So I'll
I
show
have it.
you what the
I'm putting the link now in the chat. So you can take a look at that also. And you can look, and if you have questions, I'm available. Chris and Jim are available. We have been chatting through Instagram to answer any questions that people have. Also, there is a link to the airline, and they can recommend like great airlines to take. That cost is in addition to the travel, and but your accommodations and most of your meals, many of your meals are included in the pricing and your tasting fees, which is great because I like sometimes you go on a trip and you're like, okay, well, now I need to allocate this for tasting. I need to allocate that. I love that I'm going to go and that's already there. And so I just need to allocate money for a third wine suitcase to take with me. So all of the wine I'm going to take home with me.
Yeah.
that's wonderful. That's really wonderful. And you will be drinking a lot of wine, so you want to make sure that you have your how do they call it, a week or two without wine before you hit the
The
airport.
detox. Yeah.
And yeah, and drink that wine sparingly on the plane on the way over.
Mhm.
Yes. And we're
Once
going
you
during summer.
Yes, high
Yes,
season.
it'll be really wonderful. It'll be a nice time. The weather will be great. And to reiterate, it's the harvest. So you're going during harvest time when all the estates are just bumping and jumping, and you get to see how the grapes are come off the vine, how the grapes get into the cellar, how everything is done. You get to see the whole process of winemaking and maybe even participate yourself if we can jump on a harvest train on one of the estates. That's what we're looking forward to doing.
Mhm.
That is exceptional. Um, I see Valentina is there. If you have any questions, I'm excited, and I really hope that you're able to join us. It is. I love the fact that it's a small group, so we're not going to be herding cats, um, and it seems like it's going to be a whole lot of fun with our host here. Guys, do you have anything else to add?
I would I would say that if you have had an interest in coming to Africa, especially if you're African American or some sort of African descent, and thinking about the African diaspora and where your ancestors came from, primarily here on the mother continent, that's another element that I know at least I have had when I first flew over Africa the very first time.
Mm.
And I had been to Europe and all these other places, to to Ecuador, but when I flew over the African continent for the very, very first time, there's a change that happens. And when you land in that airport
Mm.
in Johannesburg or Cape Town, and you just it's different.
Yeah.
So if you're so that's the other added benefit of it of wine, but also getting to know and be in the presence of other African nations. This is the melting pot. Cape Town is the melting pot of, like the melting pot of America. You have Africans from
Congo,
from Nigeria, Congo,
Malawi,
Malawi, Rwanda. So if
uh,
you've ever wanted to be see these other nations, Ethiopia,
and try their food.
when you get here, you're going to be around, and we're going to introduce you to them because they're our
They're
friends.
our
We know
friends.
them, so you're going to get to interact with other people who live here, not just with one another. That's a major, major thing to say. That you're going to be interacting with the local people here, where you can sit down on your own and talk to them and ask questions about Africa and the African continent over a glass of wine. So I do want to stress that it's more than just sightseeing and popping bottles and drinking wine. You're going to be interacting with each other and with the people who are here.
Our chef is African. The man cooking your food is African.
It's from the Zulu Nation.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. I mean, I can't contain my excitement about this trip. Is I am not going to hold you guys, but is there anything else that you would like to add?
I think, well, thank you. Thank you, Leslie, that we crossed paths at the right time for such a time as this. And we're looking forward to meeting the people in the Wine Concierge Club and Vino group. Just can't thank you enough for
Oh,
making this dream come true of being able to share our love for wine, the African continent, and good times with good friends.
thank you. Thank you so much. And if you are interested in attending, I put the link in the chat, and I think it's also in the description, but that's where you can find out more information. You can make your deposit. If you have questions for me, definitely DM me, give me a call. I'm happy to answer them. If there's something also that you thought of, please let me know and put it in the chat, and we will answer those questions very quickly. But I really look forward to traveling with you. This, I keep on saying, like, this is a trip of a lifetime. I'm so excited to do this, and we'll be following up and having more conversations and talking about some of the highlights of the trip. But thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you. Have
Thank
a
you.
great
Cheers.
afternoon.
Cheers.
I'm,
Cheers.
and I'm waiting for my glass of wine. It's
Yes,
almost
come and have one now. Join us.
it's here on the East Coast. It's almost noon, but it's always noon someplace. So
And it's wine tasting time.
Yeah.
It's just going to wine
exactly.
tasting. Yeah, if it's noon. That's what you're gonna be doing at noon here is
Anyway.
wine tasting.
Right.
So
There you
yes,
go.
get your palate ready.
Do you want to show the other ones you've got?
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, goodbye, everyone, and we'll chat
Bye.
with you later. Bye, fam.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
fam.